Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you all are doing well. I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys breaking down this AUDUSD trade. I'm going to be showing you guys everything as it relates to higher time frame, lower time frame, things like that, what I was thinking. And this is for people who, let's say you don't have a lot of time on your hands and you need to scalp the market, okay? Or let's say you just want to just add quick percentages to your account, right? This is something that you're going to be able to do very, very easily, okay? So before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, it's currently 12:43 a.m. I'm getting ready to trade London session. We're in replay mode because I currently have a markup that I don't really want to show on video. So we're currently in replay mode, don't mind that. But I did take this trade on October 31st, which was Sunday. And I normally don't trade when the market opens, but we'll get into that in just a second. All right. So sit back, relax. Let's get into it. Now, before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy the content. Thank you all for all the support. My schedule is going to change slightly as we move towards Christmas and the first of the year. So I might not upload like 3 times per day. All right, there will still be days where I do upload 3 times per day, but you guys can at least expect 1 or 2 videos from me on a daily basis. More than likely 1 on a daily basis. But I am still responding to you all's questions. I'm responding to you all's DMs, things like that. So if you guys do have any specific questions about the course, let's say you haven't purchased the course yet and you have a question about it, feel free to DM me. I always include a little gift whenever you guys ask me about the course. All right, but let's hop into the actual trade breakdown. All right. Now, before we actually look at the trade breakdown, okay, of course I have to show proof that I was in this trade. So this is what we talked about on, I'm pulling up Telegram right now. This is what we talked about on our, on one of our video analysis, okay? It's just a small clip that I'm gonna play for you guys. Just give me 1 second. All right, so here's a video clip of an update analysis that I sent to the Telegram channel, all right? I will be dropping a video about our October results. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about that. I just haven't gotten around to actually recording that video, but it will come sometime this week, so stay tuned for that. So for everyone asking, I haven't forgotten, don't worry. All right. Now it is a new month, okay? I did not send this trade out because I took this trade before our 8 p.m. Telegram webinar, right? But it still followed my rules, okay? The only rule it didn't follow is I normally don't trade on Sundays or Mondays, but I decided to take this trade because it was an easy setup, which I'm going to explain to you guys in a second. There was an opportunity, or there is an opportunity, well, it's gone now, but there was an opportunity to actually take a sell here, all right, simply based on the M15 time frame. This probably will at least for like 5%, excuse me, but I didn't send this out to you guys, and it's Sunday, so I'm not too worried about what happens with this here. But here you guys can see I'm basically explaining where I'm looking to target. You know, we did, let me see, did we go back up to the entry? Let's see. So now let's exit out of this. Yeah, we didn't go back up to the entry, but I told everyone, you know, if you wanted to hop into this trade, it would still be valid even if price came back to the entry here, all right? And you guys saw the video, and we were right here, all right? So this was a very, very straightforward trade setup. It was really based around really the M15, all right, and just looking at order flow, looking at what price is doing, things like that, right? Because here we can see that, okay, we have a clear level of demand here, right? A clear level of demand. Now, for those of you who ask me about supply and demand, especially for my new subscribers, I want you guys to remember that I do have a supply and demand video for you. All right, so if you go back into my previous content, okay, you will find a supply and demand video, which will show you how I view supply and demand. Right, so we see that price clearly has demand here, and we are very inefficient throughout this entire area. Okay, price pushes to the upside, and then we create a high. Okay, so price is now playing between these regions here. This is our low, and this would be our high here. Yes, price does, you know, tap back into this area here, okay, but we overall do not break this region, okay, we maintain this area. Price starts to push to the downside. We start to create inner counter trend structure. Okay. Then price looks like it may want to start to create minor structure. All right. This wasn't a bad opportunity for a buy position. Okay, on the lower time frames to collect some percentage. Okay, we would have hit this target here based on the lower time frames. So that wasn't bad at all. Okay, I did not take this, but if you did, that was some quick percentage, right? Then we see that price, that fails. Price starts to push to the downside. Okay, you could have taken sells here. Okay, and then price pushes to the downside even more. All right, now I'm basically explaining how to, in a very, very quick, short way, how to take advantage of internal structure, okay, or how I take advantage of internal structure. If you guys do want a video on that, I can definitely drop that for you all. Just feel free to drop it in the comments if that's something that you guys want to see. All right. So once price pulls down into this demand here, we can see that it creates a reaction. So price trades away from this demand here. Anytime price interacts with supply or demand, okay, it's supposed to take out the opposite. So if we see that price reacts to a valid level of demand, which it does here, and we reject it, okay, we want to see price take this region out here. And if it doesn't, okay, then that is simply a reaction that fails, okay, because we have failed to react properly to this demand in order to take out this supply. All right, and now I'm just giving you guys like my thoughts on how I look at things. In this area here, this is where supply comes into the market that basically overpowers this demand here. All right, and I know I'm going through this slow. If you're a student of mine and you're watching this video and you're wondering why am I going through it slow, because when I teach it, I go through it extremely quickly, but it really drills it in, right? Because it's all reps. It's just repetition, repetition, repetition. So my students are probably watching this wondering, why is he going through it so slow? But I really want the new guys, the new subscribers, the people that are new to the family, I want you guys to understand a little bit of how I trade, because I've gotten a lot of DMs and a lot of questions about what concepts do I use and things like that. So I'm trying to go over it while I explain this trade here. Okay. So we know that there's a large amount of supply that comes into the market here that is responsible for this demand failing here. All right. So this is going to be an area of interest that we could look at, right? Now it's not super significant, but it is something that we can trade from to collect, in my opinion, 4 to 5%. You're not looking for this trade here to go, 10R, 15R. This is not one of those trades. If you do get in it and it happens to just continue to tank, congrats, right? But this is supposed to be a quick, easy move. You're looking for this area here to be taken out, okay, or targeted. All right, essentially, because once we break through this here, okay, once we break through this demand here, this low is weak, right? Because we aren't able to break through this high here. So if we get a trade opportunity within this region, which we do, which we're going to go over in just a second, if we get a trade opportunity within this region, our job is to then target this weak low, right? And our invalidation zone is going to be, you can follow the mitigations and use the last mitigation point, but our end all be all is going to be this region here until we break out of this region here, right? Now I know I went through that kind of quickly. I don't want to do too much teaching because this could turn into a 40-minute video, and yeah, that's not what we want. Right? So let's go ahead and go to lower time frame and see how price interacts with this M15 zone that we have marked up that's responsible for taking out this reaction as well as this demand here. All right, so let's go to the lower time frame. All right, so now that we are on the lower time frame, we already have our zone marked up on the M15, right? I'm not really looking too much at M5 structure, like throughout this area here, right? Like you could say, okay, we've tapped into demand and we've reacted here. Okay, so I should take buys here, right? Don't confuse yourself. Use the higher time frame, right? If I understand on the M15 I'm looking for sells, then when I go to the M5, I'm waiting for the M5 to transition into what the M15 has already transitioned into, right? So, this here, sweep, price pushes to the upside. Price pushes to the upside in order to tap into this supply. But price does not push to the upside in order to, come back down to this area and then shoot for the moon, right? Use your higher time frame. Understand order flow. I also have previous videos on order flow. I'll probably link it somewhere within this video for you guys to check out. All right. So once price taps into this area, I'm only looking for a couple of things, right? I'm looking for liquidity to be on my side. I'm looking for market structure to be on my side. I'm looking for supply and demand to be on my side. All right. So once we tap into our M15 point of interest here, what I looked for on the M5, right? And I didn't want to go to the M1 because I wanted some solid candles since it was market open. All right, because this was on Sunday. All right, so I wanted some solid candles, or this entry here was on Sunday. All of this took place on Friday. All right, but my entry was here. All right, but I was on the M5 because I wanted some solid candles and I wanted a solid trade idea. I didn't really want to be on the M1. The day the market opens. It's just not what I'm comfortable with, right? So we can see that once price interacts with the supply here on the M15, we swept this liquidity here. So we have a liquidity grab and then price pushes back to the downside, right? As long as we do not trade above this liquidity grab, right, I'm good to go. I'm still going to count it as liquidity grab. So even though price pushed back to the upside here, yes, we did build some liquidity up here, okay? But the fact that right after that, we had a change in market momentum with price taking this higher low out here, okay, that told me that we had a fracture in our order flow. So price, is ending this slight uptrend we were in, okay, based on the M5 time frame. All right, when I see that, okay, when I see a fracture in order flow, right after I see a sweep of liquidity like we see here, like you see how price creates this high, both reject and then price collects all of that, right? That's instigated liquidity, okay? That was also used as inducement for price to run into our M15 zone here and mitigate 50%, okay? So once price actually fractures our order flow, this uptrend order flow in the M5 time frame, okay, and takes out this demand, I'm looking at what is responsible for doing all of this. If price breaks through, or if price fractures order flow, okay, and we also trade through demand, okay, if that happens, then there has to be something responsible. This to me is responsible, okay? So what does price do? Price pushes to the downside, and then we basically create a triple top here, okay? What retail traders will call a triple top. I look at this as simply just inducement, okay? Price gets really close to the zone and rejects. That means that we're building up a lot of liquidity, and it gives me a lot more confidence in taking this trade here, okay? Because if, well, I'm not gonna get into that. Let me stop. I'm gonna give too much information. I have to save some information for my students and for my clients. All right, so you see price trades into this area here. Okay, this is my entry. At the end of this zone, it was around 4.4 pips, and then I just added a tenth of a pip, all right, to increase that to 4.5 pips. Because I like to use, but you could have covered this high, and honestly, risking 5 pips on this trade wouldn't have been bad at all. You would have still collected 5%, so. But yeah, I was comfortable with 4.5 pips, and then once again, my target was just 5%. Targeting overall this low here. All right, but it was so close to 5% that I just went ahead and added that extra little percentage on top. All right, overall, this trade took around 7 hours to hit. But I mean, once you actually break this area here, okay, like with price, and price trades through that, it's really a risk-free trade because you can just move your stop here, right? These Sunday trades, I'm very meticulous with how I manage them. Okay, so we created a new low, right? Price pushes up, creates new structure, lower high. Sellers come into the market, and then we take out this lower low. So once price takes out the lower low, our invalidation zone is now this region here. You can move your stop here. Okay, it's fine to do that. I would do that especially if I'm trading on Sundays. All right. Now, if I'm managing my trades throughout the week, I normally don't. But with Sunday trading, you have to be a little careful. All right. But yeah, so that basically breaks down this entire trade here. I know I don't have, a lot of labels and stuff like that. But most of my charts, I kind of like my charts clean, right? I literally just have liquidity, market structure, and supply and demand. Those are the only concepts that I trade. Those are the only concepts that I focus on, and I've incorporated those concepts into a strategy that it's literally a 1, 2, 3 step system for finding valid zones, and it's a 1, 2, 3 step system for finding valid entries within those zones. All right. The October 43% video is coming. Don't worry. With that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed this video. I'm going to get ready to trade London session in about an hour. Might take a quick little 20-minute nap or something like that because I am a little tired. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Much love. Peace out.